Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I have cut my bill, my grocery bill, down by thousands of dollars over the years, like literally thousands of dollars. If you knew what I used to spend before I started doing everything that I do here on the channel, and I have been doing for years, you would be shocked. Like I worked out once that it was literally around $5,000 extra per year that I was actually spending on groceries. Like it was insane. When it came to doing school lunches and things, I started off a little bit rocky and I was spending quite a bit of money and things because I was doing things, I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just getting things and doing things that I thought were okay and what would help, you know, whatever was quicker for me. And over the years, I've definitely learnt a few things here and there that I do. And even recently, I've changed some stuff and I'm doing things a little bit differently now to save even more money. So I really wanted to do this video where I just talk about a few ways that I've cut down my grocery bill as far as school lunches go, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because I thought it might be helpful for you, especially if you've been watching me for a while, because there are a few little things I'm doing differently now, which I think if you haven't been doing them, they're really going to help you. If you buy little snack packs like these of all sorts of things, muesli bars, you might have little fruit strips, little gummies like this, packets of popcorn, the Healthiest brand stuff. What else have we got? Twisties, chips, cookies, any of this stuff. These are sultanas, these are yogurt ones, but you might have little chocolate ones or just the plain sultanas. If you have any of this and you buy this and put them in your kid's lunchbox, it doesn't mean that you need to put in one of that, one of that, one of that, one of that in every single day's lunchbox. You can be a little bit diverse with these and cut down by only putting half in. Now to do that, obviously you don't want to put in half a packet of this and put it in the kids' lunchboxes already open. It's not going to be very enticing for them. And if they don't get it to all of it, obviously it's going to go a little bit stale. What you can do is do little snack packs like this. I have just done a video today again. I've already done a video here on the channel, but I've done another one today of refilling these. And I'm also doing this with fruits and vegetables and cheese and cabanas and that, as well as a healthier option. But these are like the little snack ones. We're doing this. It's a snack pack restock video, so keep an eye on the channel because that's coming up this week as well. But what I'm doing is I'm just splitting up things and doing lots of variety of little things. I've even put little mini wheat bix in here as well because my kids love those. There is such a variety of things that you can do. I've cut up a muesli bar, I've cut it in half and then put 3 here, and then I've put another 3 in another pack because I've actually made 4 of these of each today. So this is going to last me for a few weeks, obviously in the pantry, put away so the kids can't see them, but put away so I can just grab them out. It's going to save me a ton of time, but it also saves me a lot of money because I've gotten, for example, 1 packet of this and I've split it over 2 packets and made snack packets up like this. So my kids each have one. Joseph is in high school, Isabella is in primary school, but even Joseph in high school likes this. He doesn't think I want more because he's had a little bit of everything and he just really enjoys it. So it's a great way of doing portion control, obviously, when you've got the unhealthy sort of stuff. But also, it's just a way of saving money. You're using half a packet. If you have only got 1 child and you're making up this and you're stretching 1 packet over 2 days because it's mixed with some other little treats, you're going to save a ton of money. So my kids will usually have something like this in their lunchbox, and then they'll have a healthier, they've got like yogurts and fruits, and then they've got their main thing, whether it's a sandwich of some sort, a roll, whatever, rice cakes, whatever it is. So it's split up like that in my lunchbox, but just breaking up the packets like this, it's fun. If you make it look as colourful as possible, because I know it can be quite beige at times with these types of snacks, but if you make it look pretty, they're going to want to eat it, you know, they're going to really love it. If anyone's wondering what these are not the lollies as such. I know they're kind of like lollies. These are the little fruit snacks here. They're a little bit less sugary and stuff than actual lollies, but instead of giving a whole packet, I even break those up. Like there's half a packet in there, half a packet in there, and it's just that added little extra, and they just love it. But it will save you a ton of money. If you don't have these containers, I will link them below here in the description. They're from Amazon and they cost me $15 to $20 depending on the sale price. For 40 of them. You can buy them from there plus postage. Otherwise, if you've just got Ziploc bags, you can do the exact same thing, guys. Popcorn is great because it'll make it stretch further as well, okay, because It's more bulky, and it's obviously one of the healthier options. So you can bulk it up with the healthier food first, I guess, and then just add a few things in. Like there's only 3 chocolate chip cookies in there, the mini ones from this packet, and then I've put the other 3 in another packet. So you can, you know, do them in the Ziploc bags as well. And obviously to save money, using stuff like the popcorn, if you buy that in bulk, I have split it from this, but I buy this brand in the big bags when they're like $1.75. I can make up so many of these little bags. You know, I can do a whole week's worth probably for one child out of a $1.75 bag. Bulk it up with the popcorn, they love it, and then just add the little treats in there. It's kind of like a little trail mix without having nuts at school, obviously, because you're not supposed to have that. But this is another option, and yeah, save money by bulking it up with popcorn is a great idea. Another trick is hiding all your school lunchbox snacks, enough for a week or 2 ahead of time, in a bag like this, up in your pantry or container, whatever you want to do. Put it somewhere where no one's going to see it and people know that they're not allowed to touch it. Then you're always going to have stuff, obviously, in case you run out, but also you're going to save money because they're not going to come and through and just eat all through this, and you have to buy more stuff earlier than what you need. Look at brand and packaging alternatives. Let me tell you a little trick here. These almonds, when I looked, you'd think these would be more expensive than buying a whole big bag of almonds. But when I actually looked at the price per, I think it was per kilo or per 100 grams, these little packets were actually cheaper for me to buy them like this. I don't know why, but they were. But there's a little trick that most people would think that this would be more expensive. So definitely compare prices in different package forms for sure. The other thing is look out for alternative brands. This packet here, the yogurt coated sultanas, are actually from Aldi. They cost me around $3.50 for 6 boxes. You can get the chocolate coated ones, and you can just get normal sultanas, and that's the price of them. Actually, I think the sultanas are actually even cheaper than that. But if I was to buy this actually in Woolworths or Coles, I'm paying at least $5 for the yogurt covered ones. I do know that. So this is just an alternative. You know, you want to make sure you're getting the best price possible. So definitely have a look. You just never know where you might actually find something a little bit cheaper. And once you know, then it's somewhere you can always go back to, obviously, and just get your better price. If you're struggling with the price of fruit and veggies at the moment, especially fruit, because depending on seasons, obviously it can be very expensive, a punnet of apples, which will probably only give me, say, 5 apples, and high peak time can cost me like $5.50 for the punnet, for only 5. I have this box here from Costco. Now you can get these in other places, of course, as well. This is just a really good deal from Costco. There are 12 packets in here for about $12. So it's like $1 a packet, but that's, to me, is 12 days. If you had this and you set them aside, hidden in the pantry somewhere, like your own box just specifically for school, you've got 12 days. That's 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks worth of fruit that you could actually put into their lunchbox. And this freeze-dried fruit is 100% just the fruit. There is nothing added into it. The apple, 100%, nothing else added. And with the pineapple, and same with the mango. These are also really like packets of chips, so it's a little trick for your kids, thinking they've got some sort of treat, but it is actually just the fruit. So yeah, it's that there too can save you on buying lots of those chip packets and things like that if you don't want to put it into it. You have some of this stuff. This is great too. It's a lot healthier, obviously, but it's just, you know, a little trick that I like to do sometimes. If I don't put a packet of, like, you know, something very unhealthy into the lunchbox, then I can put this in, and, you know, kids don't know. They don't care. They just think it's a little treat. Another great option is obviously buying in bulk. You know, if you can get anything like this, this is actually from Costco, but I know Aldi's started bringing out a few things here and there. Even Woolworths and Coles have had like a special shelf, and they're bringing out those giant boxes I can get at Costco and putting them in there as alternatives. Then you're going to save some money. This was 42 packets of cookies. Now, this is not just chocolate chip cookies, like they do have those there, but they have some different things as well, which is really good. If the kids are getting, you know, a bit of variety too, they're not going to just be, you know, not eating them, you know, and wasting money there. They're actually going to enjoy them. So we've got those in there. We've got normal chocolate chips, like I said, and then we've got the little mini hundreds and thousands as well. So this was, yeah, $14 for 42 packets, and I think that's just such a great deal for what it actually is. And I quite often, if you look at my Costco videos, I will buy lots of things like this in bulk, and I do hide it so they don't just eat everything all in one go, obviously. But you will save yourself a ton of money too. Like, you really will. Unless you're getting something really on a great special at Coles and Woolworths, you know, this is for those times where you're not going to get that. This is a great option. Speaking of buying in bulk, yes, this is part of my stash here. I have more snacks in here, and then down here is sort of main meal items that I rotate through, like sauces and things like that. Meal bases, all of that. What my point is that some of this stuff is from Costco, but other things like muesli bars, for example, like we love these muesli bars. If I can get them at Costco, they're much cheaper to buy them that way in bulk. But if I can't, then I try to save my 10% off discount, which I do once a month. I now have it at Coles, but it's mostly been at Woolworths. I will use that and make sure I need to get anything like this. If it's full price, I'm getting at least 10% off, or obviously anything that's going on sale, I will buy extra. A lot of these boxes I've been getting from like there's different options of these at Coles and stuff. If I can get these on sale and then save another 10% off that, I will definitely buy more than I need for that week. You know what I mean? Like, I'll buy extra and just stash them away in my stockpile here, because really, why pay full price when you don't need to? That's definitely going to cut down on things. And yes, I've got enough here in here as well to last probably 6 to 8 weeks now, probably. But the point is that really I could just go without buying anything from now on for 6 to 8 weeks, and I've paid less for it. So definitely cutting down money there. When it comes to fruit, pop it in the fridge. It will last a hell of a lot longer than being on the bench. If you're like my kids and don't like biting into cold fruit, I actually just keep the bulk of it in the fridge in a drawer like this, which this drawer here, guys, there's another one here. They actually from Kmart, as well as these shelf baskets here. That will be in a video. I'll link it below, but it's like affordable kitchen storage from Kmart. I've just recently did it, and you get to see quite a lot of things that I looked at in there and things that I'm using here at the house now. Definitely check it out. But I will put these baskets here, actually put here, because I don't have a fruit bowl on my bench. I just don't have the space. But if you have a fruit bowl, you can do this obviously as well. Keep the bulk of your fruit, your apples, apples, pears, oranges even, mandarins, that type of stuff. Keep it in the fridge and then just bring out little bits and put it in your fruit bowl at a time. Every few days you can just refill it up. Do you know what I mean? Bananas, I'm not a person that keeps bananas in the fridge because it'll go black, but my dad will wrap them in foil, and apparently that helps. But yeah, keeping that kind of stuff in the fridge will make it obviously last longer, and you're able to buy it in bulk as well at a much cheaper price if you're able to put it in the fridge. Another way to save money on your kids' lunchboxes is if you want to include strawberries, blueberries, that type of thing, but they're out of season, okay? So they're costing a fortune. Like, these are very expensive at the moment. I have not been buying this every week. Just don't buy it every week. Have different alternatives and buy this every second week. Do you know what I mean? So that you're just going to cut down. If you're not buying it every week, you're buying it every second week, obviously you're going to cut your costs down in half there, and just have it and more as a treat. When this goes back in season, yes, go for it. Have heaps of it, and then maybe give up a little bit more on the apples and pears and stuff like that. Maybe they're a bit sick of them then. You can go with this stuff. But definitely look at what's season, like in season for seasonal purchases. Most schools will have like a fruit break in the mornings now at around 10 o'clock, which is fantastic. It just keeps their brains more active. You don't always have to have fruit though. You can do vegetables. Usually the schools will say, yes, vegetables are fine as well. I buy a lot of this stuff because we have it with our meals, and I have it in this container here, so it's all separate. So if something goes bad, I can throw that out but keep the others. But buying this kind of stuff in a bit more bulk as well. Vegetables are usually a bit cheaper than, obviously, especially these, those. You can buy a lot of it, have it here. You're going to have it for dinners and stuff anyway, but you can just pull this out. This will save you time too. Pull this out and just pick little bits out of it for their fruit break time. You can do that, and this will save you money. The vegetables, like I said, are a lot cheaper usually than the fruit at the moment, especially for the amount that you can get. So it's just a way of cutting down that cost. When it comes to the main meal for my kids' lunchboxes, sandwiches is mostly what most people do, and you guys know I love doing freezer sandwiches. That saves a ton of time for me. Definitely time. It can save money too, because you're not running out through the week and getting extra stuff if you've ran out of bread and stuff. It's already done. It's good. I like to do them in this, or I'll do some alternative stuff, which I've just recently done in a video. I will link below some freezer sandwich videos for you guys. If you haven't seen them, you can have a look and see what I do and how I do it. It does really help, and when it comes to cutting down the cost, I love the Baker's Delight bread. I love Tip Top bread, the bigger one. We loved those, but it was getting very costly. So I just found a cheaper alternative. This one is a bit cheaper. It's not the cheapest, obviously, in the store, but it's a bit cheaper, and it stays really fresh. Like, especially when I do it as freezer sandwiches, if I get this bread and make up my freezer sandwiches up pretty much in the same day or the next day at the latest, then you're freezing those sandwiches and it's very fresh. When it's defrosted, it's a fresh sandwich. It's not dry, it's not stale and stuff. So what you can do is pick a cheaper bread. Pick a cheaper bread that you're happy with and make them as freezer sandwiches, and that's going to save you money, because you're going to have kids that are actually going to want to eat their sandwiches, and they're not going to, you know, throw them out or just not eat them at all, and you're throwing them out at the end of the day. They're going to have something that they like, okay? So having a cheaper bread obviously is saving money, because you're not having to buy this expensive stuff, and it's still, because you're defrosting it and they're eating it pretty much that same day, it's just going to save you money. You also don't need to always have sandwiches. You can have things like rice cakes if you want to. This is a really cheap alternative. My kids like them anyway, and you can do a number of different things with these. Quite often we'll have something in the middle and have it like a sandwich. Isabel loves cheese ones. She's big into cheese, but these are so cheap. Like a packet of rice cakes, like these ones, are about like $1.50 or something, so they're so cheap, and they're probably a little bit better for them than the bread as well in some cases. So these are great alternatives. You could also do like crustkits as well, saladas, that type of thing, if you want to just mix it up and have a little bit more of a cheaper alternative. So there's nothing wrong with doing something different. It doesn't always have to be sandwiches, and this definitely helps cut down costs. Importantly, when you've got stuff like this, you want containers like this that seal them. If you haven't seen it, that Kmart video, I will again link it below. Have a look at it. These are a game changer. These are their new containers that they've actually got in Kmart, and they are amazing. They have finally sourced a lid. Look at this. Unlocks like this. It is airtight, guys. It's actually said on the box that it was, I think, patent protected, like the actual locking system. So no one else is doing this. Well, they're not supposed to be anyway, because they've protected it. But they have somehow got hold of this, and it is fantastic. Like, the lid doesn't come off. It seals. Like, there's no air getting in. It's going to keep your things, you know, not from going stale, basically. It's going to stop them from going stale and having just fresh stuff all the time. So if you are baking as well, like if you were doing cookies yourself, or even like mini muffins and stuff, you could probably put them in things like this, or the smaller ones like this if you wanted to. But choose the ones with these lids. Having containers that hold your food, so you're not wasting money by throwing stuff out and having to buy new stuff to replace it. This is just a game changer, and you really want to look for stuff like this if you can. I would very much so, because I've had a lot of people message me since that video asking me what I'm thinking of these containers. I absolutely would have them 100% and love them. They'd be great for your flour as well, sugar, that type of thing. If you've got baking stuff you want to keep fresh, this is great. Like, I really like these, and they're just, yeah, a game changer. When it does come to baking, sometimes, depending on what you're wanting to buy, things like this, like the pre-made packet mixes, is a lot cheaper than buying flours, bread, and bicarb soda, and what else, sugar, and all the ingredients. You know, this packet here, I just have to add some margarine and some eggs into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe a bit of milk, and it's done. You know what I mean? And I'm probably going to make a lot more out of this than what it would be if I bought the pre-made stuff as well. So that's another bonus. So that's a definitely cut down costs if I'm wanting to cut down costs. If I'm wanting to cut down time, of course, I'll just buy the pre-made stuff. But this can be a great alternative. And you can even buy stuff like the cake mix here. Well, this one's from Aldi, but I know in Coles and Woolworths too, you can get the cheaper ones. A basic vanilla or butter cake mix, you can do so much with. You can have this as a base, but you could add different flavors into it. You could do even just chocolate cocoa if you've got some of that lying around, or Milo or something like that. Put it in there, make it a chocolate cake. Like, there's different alternatives, you know, that you can actually do with these, and that will definitely help cut down the cost if you're wanting to do some sort of cake or sweet in your lunch boxes. Also, as an alternative option to cakes and cookies and things, pancake mixes. These mix and shake things that you can get, like, these are cheap. They're from Aldi. These are really cheap at Aldi, and we actually really like this one. You can make up quite a lot of like little mini ones, and you can freeze them if you really want to. Or, you know, when you're cooking them too, you can add blueberries into them, bits of apple, banana, whatever you want, you can add into them. It's a really cheap alternative to the actual cake mixes itself, and that definitely cuts down a lot of cost when it comes to, you know, baking sweet treats and stuff like that. So I quite often will do these as a thing to add into lunch boxes as well. And like I said, you can freeze them, but I'm going to say this container here is less than $2 to buy, and you're only adding water. So you're even cutting down more money there, because you're not having to add in eggs and margarine and all that stuff into it, you know. Obviously, you've got the cost if you want to add a few blueberries or something like that into it. But in all, it's a very cheap option. I hope some of those ideas were helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you do any of these already, or if you've got some more ideas, definitely leave them below for other people to see as well. Yeah, I hope it helps someone out there. It's really been a thing that I have learnt by trial and error, as you do as a parent. You know, when Joseph started school, it was like, oh, what, I just throw all this in? Oh no, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. I've changed things over the years, definitely here and there, and things definitely change when your child gets older. Okay, Joseph's in high school now, so it's a little bit different with lunch boxes. So I had to find new ways of cutting down costs and saving money as well, especially because I wasn't doing the bento style lunchbox for him anymore. So it's been a real learning curve, but I think I've kind of got a little bit of a handle on it at the moment. Well, it's working for now anyway, but regardless, it is saving me so much money, and it's pretty much cut my bill in half compared to what it was when Joseph first started school. So that's amazing. So yeah, I hope it helps someone out there. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Bye.
The things that we'll do, 'cause I